All right, boys, so today we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do a good health check on the motor of our '01 Silverado. Now, it's got 304,000 miles. So chances are we're gonna find some issues here. I'm gonna go ahead and say it's leaking oil. I will go ahead and put my paycheck on that, or not leaking oil, I'm sorry, consuming oil rather. I would put my paycheck on that. I think our compression will be all right, but then I'm sure we're gonna have some kind of issues with our leak down. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get right into it. I'm sure most of you know how to do a compression test. If you don't, I will have an Instagram reel or like a YouTube short on how to do that. You can go check that out. And then we're also gonna be doing a leak down test. Now, I'm also gonna post a reel or a YouTube short on how to do a leak down test as well. If you'd like for me to elaborate into that and actually make a separate video on how to do one or the other, then by all means comment below and we will get into that. But without any further ado, we're gonna get right into this checking this compression. All right, so we got our spark plugs out, and we have some weird stuff going on. So if you look right here, a lot of that discoloration is probably from the fuel I'm running. I'm just running 87, but then you got some weird little buildup right there. I'm not quite sure what that's from. And then we had one of them break. You gotta love that. But we got our compression test set up over here. We went ahead and got it put in the cylinder. We got it set up, so we're gonna go ahead and run that, check our numbers, and then I got a borescope and we're gonna check the cylinders, see what they look like. All right, so we went ahead and we got our compression test done. Our compression numbers really don't look that bad. They're about 140 to 150 all the way around, which, I mean, all things considered, 300,000 miles later, it's not bad. Now, we went ahead and put the borescope in the cylinders, and so far, I'm really not seeing anything crazy. Right there, I mean, it looks like there's some oil, which is, I mean, that's to be expected. I'm sure all that right there is oil. That's pretty much to be expected. But as far as like a carbon buildup or anything, it's not bad. Like, look at that right there, 300,000 miles. Most cars, that would be awful, but I mean, really, it's not bad. Our cross hatchings aren't bad. There's no big gouges. I'm gonna check all of them like that, but I mean, I pretty much expect to see that through all of them. So I'm gonna go ahead, finish checking all the cylinders with that borescope. If I find anything interesting, of course, I'll let y'all guys know. But yeah, so I'll be back here in a second. Now that we went ahead and performed our compression test and borescope the cylinders, I now want to do a leak down test. Now, a leak down test is also going to tell me how good our cylinders are sealing. Now, with that being said, you can lose power and your car can run like crap. With this thing, it was running fine. So if there's probably an issue, I would say there's probably some kind of valve issue. Probably on the exhaust side because it's still running okay. But nonetheless, we are going to go ahead, check the leak down, see how it does, and we'll be back with you here shortly. Tips on doing a leak down test. So you'll have to go get a leak down test gauge. So we went ahead, I bought a snap-on one. I've had this gauge for a few weeks now. It works great. I use these a lot of the time at work. It is not a necessity to go and buy the best you can buy. If you're just doing this in your backyard and you're very rarely doing a leak down test, then do not buy the most expensive you can get. But when you do a leak down test, you do need to have a gauge that you know is reliable. And that one, I know I can rely on it. Now, the second thing is you also need to know your firing order and the order of your pistons. So with that being said, I have a picture here and I am going to show you both of which. So here is the number of your pistons. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then this right here is your firing order. So your first cylinder is the first one to fire, and then it goes to cylinder 8, and then cylinder 7, and then 2, 6, 5, 4, and 3. So that is the firing order of your engine. So that is the order that we are going to be checking these in. Okay, so now what we need to talk about is how you set your gauge up. So you can see right here, they're both pointed right here at 0. So what we want to go ahead and do is you want to pull down this knob here, and you want to twist them until they go to 100 on the PSI side and 0 on your percent of leakage side. So you're real close here. All right, we got those set. Then you're gonna go ahead and press your knob up to lock it in place. And now that you have your gauge set up, now you wanna turn the motor around to whichever cylinder you're gonna be testing now. So you want it at top dead center. So we're gonna take an extension and you're gonna turn it until that piston is at the very top. And you can see here that this one is at top dead center. Next thing you wanna do is take your hose, stick it into your spark plug socket, just like you would on the compression test. Now that you have your gauges set up, your engine's at top dead center, and your hose is in the desired cylinder, you're gonna go ahead, hook up your gauges. This thing's with haywire on me. So we're gonna hook up our gauges, and then we're gonna stick this end onto So as you can see right here, we do have about 25 to 30% of a leak, which is not good. So honestly, right here, I'm just gonna go ahead and clip because I know that I have a leaking cylinder, and there really ain't much more for me to do here. All right, boys, so the end of the video, like I said, truck's consuming oil, and we do have some bad news in our leak down test. Now, like I said, the truck's driving fine, so I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna put a new set of plugs in it because we did have one literally snap in half on us. So we're just gonna go ahead, throw a new set of plugs in it, and we're just gonna drive it, dude. I might get the AC working. I do have another motor back here, just kind of waiting to be put together. So that's gonna be done in the future. I got a few other things I got to sort out first. But apart from that, you know, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. I hope that you learned something from the video today. If you would like for me to elaborate, like I said, compression test into a leak down test, then by all means comment down below. If any of this helped you, comment, like, share, subscribe, the whole nine. Other than that, thank you for watching today's video. Hope you guys have a great one.